Good morning, students. Today we will be discussing the first chapter of class 8th biology, and for today our topic is transpiration. Students, first of all, look at the definition of this transpiration. It is the loss of water in the form of vapors from the leaves of the plant. So actually it is the loss of water in the form of water vapors from the surface of leaves. So there are so many factors which are responsible for this transpiration that we will discuss one by one. Firstly, see here, you have seen, suppose this is the leaf. Now these leaves, they have numerous pores, and these pores, they are known as stomata. And these stomata, they plays a major role in the process of transpiration, as well as they helps in exchange of gases with the environment. Means they helps in taking in of carbon dioxide from the environment, and they helps in releasing oxygen into the environment. So through these stomata the process of transpiration it occurs. So the water is lost from these stomata in the form of vapors. So this loss to the plant, it is known as transpiration. Now students, see, there are some factors which affects transpiration. These are, first one is time of the day. You can see stomata means these spores, they are open in the leaf during daytime and they are closed at the night. So during daytime the rate of transpiration is more as the stomata are open, but it is not there during the night time. Now students, the temperature, with increase in the temperature, as the temperature increases the rate of transpiration also increases. If the temperature, so as the temperature lowers, the rate of transpiration also gets lowered. Third factor which affects the rate of transpiration is humidity. Now see students, humidity term, what do you understand by humidity? It is actually the amount of moisture which is present in the atmosphere. So on humid day transpiration is lower. Now see why transpiration is lower on humid day, because air, it already contains lot of moisture. So the stomata, they do not allow much more water vapors to release from the leaves. Fourth factor which affects the rate of transpiration is light. Student, as the light increases, the stomata, they gets opened, and this results in increase in the rate of transpiration. So if the amount of light is low, as you can see during the night time, light is not there, enough light is not there, so the stomata, they remain closed and there is no transpiration. So these four factors, time of the day, temperature, humidity and light, they play a very important role in rate of transpiration. Other important factor is wind. See, with increase in the speed of wind, the rate of transpiration it increase with increase in speed of wind. Student, best example is when we keep our clothes outside and the wind, the velocity of the wind is more, at that time our clothes they dry up faster. This is one of the reason. Now see what is the importance of transpiration for plants. It produces cooling effect in the plants. So as it will lose the water, it will get cooled down. So by this it protects the delicate cell of the plants. Second is, due to transpiration there is movement of water from roots towards upward, because when there will be suctional pull of water upward, along with this movement water will go upside. So this phenomenon also helps in movement of water from roots towards upward of the plant body. Students, our next topic is nutrients required by plants. So you know that our body also require different nutrients for the proper growth and development. In the same way, plants they also require nutrients for their proper growth and development. You know students that we take a balanced diet in order to get proper supply of nutrients in the body. In the same way, these plants they get nutrients from soil. So why do they need nutrients? They need nutrients to grow well and to maintain their functional efficiency. Means so that they can function properly, their body parts can function properly. Now basically see, plants require 16 main elements. How many? 16. So 13 elements they get from soil, 2 elements they are getting from air, and one, that is hydrogen, they are getting from water. So it is total 16. These 16 elements they are required for the proper growth of the plant body. Now see, out of these 13 elements, 6 are required in large quantity and 7 they are required in less quantity. So the nutrients required by the plant in large quantity are known as macronutrients. Means the plants they want these nutrients in huge amount. In the same way, the 7 nutrients which are required in less quantity, they are known as micronutrients. Students, you can see here a list. Macronutrients, first is nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium and sulfur. So these 6 they are macronutrients. Now see here, micronutrients: iron, manganese, boron, zinc, copper, molybdenum, chlorine. These 7 they are required by plant in less quantity, so they are known as micronutrients. So I hope the difference is clear to you in macronutrients and micronutrients. So students, now we will move to some deficiency diseases in plants. So if any time there is deficiency of any nutrient in the body of plant, they suffer from deficiency diseases. Now you will think that how? See, sometimes they have stunted growth, there is chlorosis, that is yellowing in the leaves, there are purple or red spot on the leaves, there are gray spot on the leaves, there is no proper growth of the plant. So next we will discuss deficiency diseases in plants. You can see here students, deficiency diseases in plants. What is deficiency disease? A disease which is caused due to lack of nutrients in the plants. Now see, if there is deficiency of nitrogen, what happens to the plant? There is chlorosis, that is yellowing of leaves. The leaves becomes yellow. You can observe these abnormalities in the plant, in the environment very easily. Second is iron. Again, see, deficiency of iron or lack of iron, it causes chlorosis of young leaves. In young leaves, chlorosis occurs. In young leaves, they become yellow in color. Calcium, there is abnormalities in the shape of leaves. The leaves, they get deformed. Fourth, that is magnesium. Again, what happens due to deficiency of magnesium? Old leaves, they get chlorosis with gray spots. Phosphorus, if there is lack of phosphorus, there is purple and red spot on leaves. Potassium, the lack of potassium in plant body leads to poor growth of the plant. Zinc, if there is lack of zinc or deficiency of zinc in plant, it results in de-shaping of leaves, means the leaves, they do not have proper shapes. Now student, today your home task is difference between micronutrients and macronutrients, and second is factors affecting transpiration. So our first chapter is over, and now in next lecture we will start chapter 2. So for today you have to learn micronutrients and macronutrients and factors affecting transpiration. Thank you.